He walked into the emergency department fully conscious, speaking clearly, heart rate normal, blood pressure stable, and yet, within seconds, his vision disappeared, not blurred, not dim, gone, complete darkness in both eyes, no pain, no warning, no collapse. He could still hear the doctors, still answer questions, still move his hands when asked, which meant the brain was working, just not the part that allows humans to see. Vision begins in the eye, but it does not live there. Light strikes the retina. Photoreceptor cells convert photons into electrical signals. Those signals travel along the optic nerves. They partially cross at the optic chiasm, then terminate in the occipital cortex, deep in the back of the brain. For vision to disappear on both sides at the same time, something catastrophic is usually happening. A stroke, a bleed, a mass. So the machines were activated. A CT scan came first, then an MRI. The brain was examined layer by layer: arteries, veins, optic nerves, visual cortex. Everything was normal. No infarction, no hemorrhage, no swelling, no lesion. In modern medicine, this is supposed to be reassuring, but the patient was still blind. When imaging is normal and symptoms are dramatic, doubt creeps in. Was this psychological? Was this functional blindness? Was the brain choosing not to see? Then, 30 minutes after arrival, vision returned. Not gradually, not partially, instantly, as if a switch had been flipped back on. Nothing had been treated, nothing had been fixed, which means nothing had been broken. So why did vision stop at all? And why did the scans never see it? Vision does not fail only when neurons die. Sometimes it fails when pressure changes. The brain survives on flow. Blood enters through arteries under high pressure. It exits through veins and venous sinuses under low pressure. As long as that gradient exists, oxygen moves, glucose moves, neurons fire. The optic nerve is one of the most pressure-sensitive structures in the body. It is not just a cable. It is living tissue. Its blood supply depends on microscopic vessels that collapse easily when pressure rises. In this case, arteries were open. Blood was arriving. But something else was happening. Venous outflow was impaired. Blood could not leave the skull efficiently. Pressure began to rise, not enough to cause headache, not enough to cause herniation, not enough to show on imaging, but enough to reverse perfusion pressure at the optic nerve head. Capillary flow slowed, then stalled. The nerve did not die, it went offline. This is called transient ischemia without infarction. No cell death, no structural injury, no MRI signal, just temporary failure. A condition known as transient visual obscuration, often linked to intracranial pressure dysregulation. In this state, vision depends on balance, and balance was lost. When venous pressure finally normalized, flow resumed. Vision returned. The scans stayed clean. The mystery deepened. Because if nothing was damaged, then nothing had been cured. This was not a stroke, which means it was not treated like one. The danger of reversible failures is that they are dismissed, but pressure problems recur. Venous sinuses vary in size. Some are narrow by anatomy alone. Add dehydration, add straining, add a sudden pressure spike. The exit pathways collapse first. Blood enters the brain, but it cannot leave. Pressure rises silently. MRI scans detect scars. They do not detect moments. This event left no footprint, which is why it is missed and why it returns. The optic nerve remembers pressure before pain appears. Next time, ischemia may last longer. Next time, cells may die. Next time, vision may not come back. Blindness does not always mean destruction. Sometimes it means equilibrium was barely restored, and sometimes the system does not recover twice.
If this has happened to you, what would have you done? Comment and engage with us for more interesting cases.